Hello, girls and boys. I hope you are having a wonderful Monday. I want you to know that all the third grade teachers have been in school for about an hour now, and we are already missing you terribly. So that's a fact, not an opinion, right? Okay, so we've been thinking about you since this morning, and we are working really hard to help you during this week, during your lessons, and all your work that you have to do. So I am really happy to be able to talk to all the third graders this morning about reading, which is one of my favorite subjects. So one of the things that we're going to talk about this morning is our story of the week, Weird Friends, right? And if you read the story already, and you guys are very smart, I'm pretty sure you figured out by now that this is an informational text, right? If you follow your teacher's instructions, you probably already looked at the informational text structures anchor chart. Remember, these are the charts that come with every story, and they're very useful because they help you figure out what kind of story you're going to read and what are the things you need to focus on that week, right? Things that will help you understand and enjoy the story, right? So this story that we're reading this week is actually very interesting because it's about animals, and who doesn't like animals, right? Okay, the other reason it's interesting is because it has some very important structure that will help you understand the story, right? So I'm going to tell you what they are, and then later when you're reading the story, or if you already read it, you can read it again, and you can see if you can find some of these structures in the text. Okay, so let's get started. One of the things that you're going to see in this text is description, right? Description is when the author uses adjectives to show you what something looks like, right? So they use very descriptive words. They tell you what everything looks like and smells like and sounds like, right? So you need to pay attention because the description would also tell you about the ideas. What is this about, right? And it will give you some details to support that idea, right? Another thing you're going to see in here, another structure that you're going to see, that you could see, it will be the sequence, which is the order in which things happen, right? So it tells you things in order, all the events, right? So pay attention to that too. Another important text structure that you might find in some informational text is cause and effect. So it will tell you what happened and then why something happened, right? And I will give you examples of this in a minute. Another one that's very important is when they talk about a problem and what the solution is like, okay? And the last one on this list is compare and contrast. And I think you guys know about that already because you have seen Venn diagrams since kindergarten probably. And that's basically, if I'm gonna show you like this. For example, you have the Venn diagram like this. And on one side, you have the things that describe one character or one particular thing. And then the other one, on the other side, you have the things that describe something else. And then in the middle, right there in the middle, you have the things that are in common between those two characters or those two stories, right? Compare is the things that are the same between two things, and contrast is the things that are different, right? Okay, so all these are the different text structures that you're going to find in our text for this week. So before we actually talk about the text, I have some examples here. So I'm gonna read you an example, okay? And you're gonna think about this. You're gonna think about which structure is shown on this text. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. To make a snowman, start by rolling a big ball for the body. Then roll a smaller ball and put it on top of the big ball to use as the head. Next, find 2 sticks to use as arms. Then, you can use objects such as coal or a carrot or raisins to make a face. Add a hat and your snowman is complete. Okay, so this is informational text, right? It's just telling you how to make a snowman, right? So, what is the text structure that is used in this paragraph? I'll give you the 4 options. Compare and contrast, cause and effect, description, or sequence. Let's think about it. Are you thinking? Good. Okay. So let's look at the options and discard the ones that we don't think work here. Compare and contrast. Are we comparing this snowman to any other snowman, or are we comparing it to how do you make something else? No. So it's not a compare and contrast text, right? What about cause and effect? No, they're not telling us anything that happened and why that happened, right? So that will not be it. So we have 2 options, description and sequence. Description is when you describe something, right? The details about something, what it looks like, right? What's happening. And then sequence is when you describe things in order. You tell the order in which things happen or things have to be done. So what do you think? If you said sequence, you're right. It's telling you how to make the snowman in order, right? It's telling you first to roll the big ball for the body, then the smaller ball for the head, then, oh, I think I skipped a part. Yeah. Then find 2 sticks to use as arms. I skipped that part, but you're okay. Okay, and then it says, get objects like coal or carrot to make the face, right? So it's telling you things in order, right? Okay, so that's sequence. That's clear. Also, another reason I know a sequence is because it uses some sequence words like first, next, last, right? So that's how you know this was sequence, right? Okay, so that was an example of that. Let me find a different one now. Let's see. This one. Marsupials are a kind of mammal. Most female marsupials have a pouch to carry their babies. A newborn marsupial is very small and underdeveloped. It will spend the first part of its life in its mother's pouch. Kangaroos, wombats, and koalas are all marsupials. Another informational text with facts, this time about animals, right? Let's look at our 4 choices here. Compare and contrast, cause and effect, description, or sequence. What do you think? Let's discard the ones that are not right. Compare and contrast. It's not comparing marsupials to any other animals, right? So it's not that one. Cause and effect. Is it telling you that something is happening and why it's happening? Not really, right? Sequence? Definitely not. So the answer will be description. It's basically telling you all about marsupials, right? Okay, very good.